So attached below is a link to a Hulu advertisement which was released 2 months ago in reference to the infamous social media egg. And essentially this Instagram account purposed to post a picture of an egg and get more followers and likes than Kylie Jenner. And it succeeded. And it also succeeded in opening up the conversation surrounding social media and mental health and really the fickleness of social media. And so there are so many different directions we could take this conversation. Social media use in the modern age is highly, highly nuanced. But I think this cultural artifact points toward the irony of this entire situation. It was an artifact that was released on an entertainment platform, so people were consuming entertainment, and then they received this message. And now it's also linked on YouTube, which is another social media platform. And so I want to particularly talk about whether or not, from an ethical standpoint, social media is good or bad. And I think it's probably more proper to say that it's neither good or bad. It is a cultural system, a cultural artifact made of raw materials. However, neither is it neutral. We have to ask the question whether or not social media is pointing us toward our proper human telos. Coming from an ecclesial ethics point of view, we are people of God, made in his image, meant to live according to the kingdom. And if that's not pointing us toward human flourishing, toward a proper telos, then it might lack a telos, or it might be pointing us in the opposite direction. And we can refer to Kavanaugh's conversation on economics and Christian desire to really help make that conversation more robust. I also want to think about whether or not, from a Trinitarian theological perspective, social media is good. We know that Jesus embraced time and space and context and was in the present, and sometimes social media disconnects us from the present. We also know that the community of the Trinity is love, it's unity, and sometimes social media disunifies us and makes us feel alone, as this cultural artifact points to. So can we use social media to create unity, to be present? These are questions that we need to be asking. I also want to look at this perspective from somebody who runs social media at my church and who is over communication. There is a system of social media that, yes, we can be redemptive agents of change within, and yes, we should try to figure out how to use this redemptively. But while doing so, we have to be careful not to fall prey to the overarching system. And I just received a social media advertisement from a church that's planting in my city, and their entire social media feed is full of consumption. It's full of branding and merchandise, and not to be judgmental at all, because I know I have a lot of work to do in this, but this is something we have to consider as churches and Christians using social media. If the medium is the message, are we actually succeeding in being redemptive agents of cultural change? I'm not sure. At the same time, I don't think we can pull back, because we should not disconnect ourselves from culture out of fear. We have to figure out how to use social media in a way that is redemptive, in a way that points us toward our proper telos, in a way that unifies us and doesn't take away from mental and emotional health. And so these are questions that I'm asking, and I still have a lot to learn. But this social media artifact definitely opened up the conversation in my mind, and I plan to continue to have it.